Good morning. It is Sunday, the 7th of June, as I record this. And I'd like to say welcome or welcome back. If you haven't been here before, my name is Deborah Carr and I write historical fiction in that name. I also write contemporary romances as Georgina Troy. And today, I ordinarily would try and take one day off a week. At the moment, I'm not because I'm busy, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. First of all, though, I have coffee. I have a new coffee machine, so it's very exciting, and this tastes really, really good. I have just come back. I went with my son to vote. It's our day for voting today. I don't think they've done it on a Sunday before, but it makes sense because most people aren't at work on a Sunday. And so we went to our parish hall, which isn't terribly far away, and we had to vote for 3 different lots. So the first one was for our constable. Every parish on the island has a constable or constable. I write about this a little bit in my historicals. I explain why. I know in the witching hour I had to write a bit about it because the young witch who was arrested was taken before the constable back in the 1640s. So I sort of explained a bit about that. We have honorary police. Every constable has honorary police, a team of them, and they're vanteniers and centeniers, and they're voluntary, and they have been around since long before the police force that you would recognise anywhere else in the world, and they still work all the time, which is very, very useful. So we also voted for senators. We have senators on the island. We don't have so much political parties. We have individuals. They obviously lean certain ways maybe, but we don't vote for a political party, as it were. We vote for individuals, and whether they are in a party or not, they might be independents or they might be in a party, but we vote for individuals. So that's what I've done this morning. I'm now back at my desk and I'm about to continue with proofs. Sorry, that's really trying to get comfortable on the floor. So yes, this is Proofs for Witchbane. It's out in 3 months. I can't wait. Unlike The Witching Hour, this is one timeline, so there's no time travel or time slips at all. I really enjoyed writing this book. There's a place in there, there's some made up places, but there's a place in there that sounds made up, and it definitely isn't. But when the book's out, I will talk more about that. Yeah. And my connection to it. It's a sort of haunted place. But yeah, it's mentioned quite a lot in the book. Weirdly, when I used to go that way, I didn't realise it was haunted. Wouldn't have stopped me because I wouldn't be fazed by something like that. I actually, as a child, even now, quite intrigued by things like that. So yes, so that's in the book. And I have got quite a lot of work to do today. And I've got a few more days before I have to deliver that. And then I've got to work on structural edits for book 1 of my new series. So thankfully, my editor came back. She said, I'm even more excited about this series now that I've read the first book. Yay, that's so marvellous. That is what you want to hear. Obviously, there's certain things I've got to do to tighten it up or, make it the best book it can be. And then you'll go to copy edits, line edits, and then proofs. So if any typos exist after that, it's, you've got to give them credit, because to go through, I write it, then read it, then deliver it, and then my editor reads it and I get structural edits. Then I do the structural edits, she sees them, then I get copy edits and they go back, and line edits and they go back, and proofs and they go back. So an awful lot of people have gone through this book, and each time there's a round of edits, I go through the book again. So if a typo does slip through, I do apologise, but also, crikey, that is some strong typo to actually get through everybody. So frustrating. Every time you have a new book come out and then you open it and you're so excited and you see this thing, it like sort of beams out at you mockingly. You think, how did that happen? Anyway, so yes, so that's what I'm doing. And for anybody who's concerned about me working hard, I do work every day when I'm very busy, but I worked in finance, and before that and after that as a PA for many, many years. I found that very stressful on a daily basis. I might be working 7 days a week. At the moment, I do take time off when I'm not so busy, and sometimes I have a couple of weeks off. Um, but I love what I do. I am not stressed that I have to spend, several days going through a book and then go straight on to the next lot of edits for a book. Yes, I get tired, but I do rest a lot, and I have an awful lot of time when I'm not at my desk. And but I love what I do. I find it intriguing. If things crop up like they have done in this one and no doubt in the next book, and I think I have no idea how to sort that out. That is really confusing, because you think you've done something quite clever and maybe a couple of editors have missed it, and then another editor said, hang on, this doesn't really work. And you think, oh, what? I thought it was great. And now I have to really rethink it. But it's like a puzzle, and it's really intriguing. I mean, in the first place, I had to come up with the whole concept of the book and make it work with subplots and things like that. So coming up with something that doesn't work, yes, it's frustrating, especially if you've got a time limit in which to sort it out. But it's also, how can I make this work then? I find these things fascinating, and I love what I do. I would not do any other job. Even if I could afford never to work another day again, I would still write. I would say most days, definitely. It's just what I do. It's part of me and part of what I love doing. Like a knitter will probably knit every day. People who love doing puzzles will probably do a puzzle every day. Whatever your hobby is, playing golf, whatever. I would do this every day, even if I didn't have to do it for a job. If I could afford never to work again, I would do this at least 98% of the time, because it's what I love. It's my passion is writing. It's making up these stories and trying to make them the best that they can be, so that when a reader will say, God, I love that book, it's still with me in my head, I think, oh, wow, that's so wonderful that somebody loved this. And that's, I do it for that, but I do it because it's a compulsion. I can't help myself, and I absolutely love it. So please, I know I talk about all things, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. It's also, but I do love what I do. So I'm not stressed at all by this. Going to work every day, the 9 to 5, and having to deal with figures and stuff like that, which I'm not natural at doing at all, I found stressful on a daily basis. On a daily basis for couple of decades I did that. And it was beyond stressful for me. Every single day, every Sunday was agony, because I knew I had to work on Monday. This job, no problem at all. Absolutely love it. And the fact that I know I have got this book to proof, I've written another book, I've half written the second book in the series, and then I've got another 3 to do. That doesn't fill me with dread. That fills me with joy. I love the idea that this is what I've got to look forward to. I'm so excited that I get to write these books and then someone's going to publish them. That's so exciting and joyous for me. It's something I've worked for. I wrote my first book in 1997, never did anything with it, and my second one in 2005. That's when I started again seriously, and that's over 20 years. I've worked a long time to get to this place where I get to do this all the time, and it's my day job. So please don't worry about me. I'm not working too hard. I love what I do. And to be honest, an awful lot. Yes, you have some authors that write one book a year, one book every 18 months. There are lots of different levels of authors, types of authors, way of working. There are authors who write a lot more books than I do every single year. And yeah, I know a lot of them. So it is quite normal in a lot of cases for an author like me to be working on proofs for one book, structural edits for another book, and a first draft for another book. That's actually not unusual at all. I've done it many times. And it's not something that's that unusual. And in today's world, a lot of the time, that's what you need to do. But to be honest, I love doing this. So I find it hard work. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I will be sitting here for hours now because I haven't actually started yet. Still ordering this. Haven't actually started yet. But I will be sitting here for several hours until I walk the dogs. If I don't feel I've done enough, I will come back and work a few more hours. But every day I finish thinking, oh, I've done that, and oh, I've done this, or that was good, or that's not quite so good, but tomorrow I'll do this. I love it. I do love it. I am probably quite mad. One of my sisters, when she read through a book that I'd written once. I was self-publishing, and I just asked her to read through it. And she picked up a couple of things that needed changing, which was really great. And she said to me, how you can read the same book twice, I don't know. I thought, if you knew how many times I read this book. She thought it was completely insane to do a job where I read the same book probably 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times. She thought I was mad. And you know what? I probably am. But I love what I do. So that said, I better get on. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. And I better actually stop talking and get on with the things I'm supposed to be doing today. So thanks for joining me again. Please like, subscribe maybe, and leave a comment about anything you like if you've got anything you'd like to say that I've said here today. Thanks for joining me, and enjoy your weekend.